Supporting textbook comprehension. Well, so far in class we've talked a lot about literacy in the forms of magazines and books and newspapers and primary sources and online sites and websites, etc. We have not done a lot of talking about textbooks. But as you all are aware, textbooks are out there, so let's talk about it a little bit. Well, to begin with, we've been talking about reading strategies and all of those other resources. So everything that we've learned in class, the strategies about how do you help students summarize and how do you help them with vocabulary, those sorts of things. Will they help as you're using textbooks? Of course. But what ones do you use? All of them, right? So far, everything you've learned will help. However, there are unique features of textbooks. Of course, they're different from textbook to textbook, but there are unique features. So, what are some of them? Well, perhaps you've thought of things such as headings or glossaries, or maybe the visuals that are in textbooks such as pictures or graphics or charts. Maybe you visualize the bold features such as vocabulary words or important terms. Maybe it's the questions at the end or other resources like links. So, what else is there to consider? Well, we know that if we can help students realize that there is a text structure and use that structure, that they can help understand themselves better. So for example, the types of text structure that are out there, we talked a little about this several weeks ago, but description. When we're talking about description texts, we see often words such as for instance or for example or such as. What kind of words might you see with sequence? Sure, first, next, finally. Causation, we might see cue words such as was caused by or reasons for this. Problem and solution, we would see problem, answer, solution. How about comparison? What types of cue words might you see in that kind of a text? As opposed to? In contrast? Similarly? Any of those, sure. So, what strategies do you use personally when you're reading a textbook? Does anyone out there go to the questions and read those first? Does anyone just look through all the pictures or the charts? How about the headings? Do you just look at the big picture first? Those are all great strategies, and we need to teach students strategies. Did you know there actually are strategies out there that we can use with textbooks? So, you all are going to have an online week in which you research different strategies that are used with textbooks, much like our 6 trait activity that we did. So you are going to be getting into 5 or 6 groups, and then your group is going to be responsible for researching and teaching the rest of the class with a group created example, your given strategy. Don't worry, I'll give you the strategy in a minute. Make sure to explain the benefits and possible obstacles of this strategy. And you are going to post your strategy to the Wiki textbook page. I should see a couple sentences explaining what it is. You're going to cite any articles or websites, one link that's in there, create a ready-to-use classroom example, and it's going to be in a Word document, okay, on the Wiki. So here's some examples, and you have a graphic organizer that we are going to be using in a couple weeks, but here are some different ones. PORP, Getting to Know the Textbook, SQ4R, Multipass, Self-Questioning Summarization Strategy, and Scroll. Of course, there are others. As you all present to each other, notice that I have an area where you can personally take notes and describe it. You can list the key aspects, and you can also list the benefits and obstacles. All right, so you want to see an example. I completely understand. Here's an example for you. bigger? Doesn't really want to be bigger, does it? So here's an example of a scroll. They've showed what scroll is. They've listed the benefits, the obstacles, links to their sources, and then they made a ready-to-use example of what you might give students. This is all uploaded in one Word document to the wiki. A very informal presentation will be given when we meet again, just maybe 3-4 minutes in which you're just explaining the strategy and teaching it to the rest of the class. All right, have fun.